So my dude's Valkyrja. I was originally going to talk about something else today, and I really wanted to, but now this is my second time recording this, but it devolved into what I think is actually a really good topic and a discussion that I want to have with you guys on the channel, because I see a lot of people thinking I'm being negative in my past two videos, when in reality I'm not. In fact, the one where I call Genshin an easy game is actually more of a positive, as I'll point out in a moment, but I want to talk about first about how I said shields ruined the game, etc. What I mean by that is shields ruined what we could potentially have in terms of character diversity, because it stifles creativity and the fact that whatever support they do has to have more utility than just a shield in terms and functionality can offer. Because a shield simply needs to exist. Zhongli does more and extra. He has 100% uptime. Uptime of the shield is probably the biggest thing. But a healer such as Yao Yao needs to be able to heal as well as supply something excess to compensate for the fact of how good shields are. And that is simply what I meant, in the fact that it stifles creativity and it kind of killed what could potentially be a lot more character diversity. That's all I meant by that. And not really a negative thing, but it's more so just looking at things for face value. And once again, whenever I said Genshin is an easy game, this is actually a really positive thing. I don't think a lot of people really realize how positive that is, and that's the topic of today's video. I want to talk about how Genshin being an easy game is a good thing. Genshin is a good game. I don't really care what people say about it. It always has been, and I've never not said otherwise. I've always said it's a fantastic experience, free to play from start to finish, as long as you don't really worry too much about in-game. It's always been like that, and I've always said that. You can literally go back in any video from literally 2 years ago and I say the exact same thing. I've never once called Genshin a bad game. I've always complained about in-game, but once they flat out said that they have no desire to do it, I stopped complaining. I just kind of accepted the fact and moved on. Anyways, I want to talk today about how Genshin being an easy game is a good thing. And I'm got a chance to formulate my thoughts a little bit better because, like I said, second time recording this video, as long as OBS doesn't mess up again. It's the second time recording it, so it should be pretty coherent this time around. So the thing is whenever I say Genshin is an easy game, a lot of people took that in negative context. They see easy as a bad thing, but in reality, it's a good thing. So to look at that, you have to look at other gacha games to really understand where I'm coming from. Most other gacha games, what they'll do is they'll release very difficult content, and to push said content, they'll release really strong characters to compensate. It's power creep. It's how it works. A lot of, like, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross is a perfect example of this. What they'll do is they'll release difficult content that you can barely clear with any currently active character, and then release newer characters that blow older characters completely out of the water to the point where you can't even use older characters in said new content. You have to use the newer characters or you're going to suffer. There is a bunch of games that do that. I played a ton of gacha games that do that. KOF All-Stars. Basically anything made by Netmarble follows this cycle. That's the kind of trend to notice, is Netmarble makes a lot of games that follow this cycle. Just got a little ping on my computer, whatever. Java update. Anyways. Yeah, Netmarble follows this cycle, and it's a cycle a lot of gacha games indeed do follow. But the thing is Genshin breaks the mold, and the fact that the game is easy. And why is it a good thing? Because you don't feel pressured ever to summon for any character ever. You don't. Whether or not you feel it that way, you might feel pressured by your friends, but that's not need. That's not like I need this character to beat the content. Maybe Floor 12 Abyss, and you have some discussion to be had there. But outside of Floor 12 Abyss, there's never a need to summon. There's only want/hype. Like, you want the new character, or you're hyped for the new character, but in the end, literally, I bumped the mic. But in the end, literally, the only reason you're spending money on the character is because you want to. There's not really a need. There have been many YouTubers in the past that have shown that you can beat the game perfectly free to play. Like, there's zero need to spend any money at all. You can 36-star Abyss perfectly free to play. MTAS has shown that across several accounts. Inviasia has shown that on probably the most copium thing I've ever seen. Level 6 artifact, or level 6 talents with literally just the free characters that you're given. So he's beaten it with 7 characters. He's done 36-star like that. He's a psycho, but he's also very good at the game. So there's a big difference. So whenever it comes to stuff like that, you really have no need to ever spend money in Genshin Impact. You don't. And why is that? It's simple. The game is easy. And I think Genshin being so successful and following this formula is actually a really, really good thing, simply because a lot of games might follow the formula. Not will, but might. I do like my challenging content, but the more you sit back and you think about it, you can realize how scummy the tactic is of gacha games to release challenging content that is currently virtually unbeatable by 99% of the player base, only to drop characters that just are so strong that make the content beatable very easily. And it's something that happens a lot. A good example of power creep is something like Dragon Ball Legends. Dragon Ball Legends, Blue Broly, whenever he came out, was the very first banner. Very first unit released to the game outside of the standard banner. He had a secondary passive that read, if he gets 20% more melee damage anytime he attacks a Goku. One sentence, very simple to understand. However, the newer characters, like 3-4 years down the line, however long it's been, the newer characters, if you ever read their passives, are long as hell. They literally have a novel for a passive. Like, you can go and look at any of these like letters that we have. Like, let's see. Let me take a peek-see at it. Where is it? Like this. Their passives look like this. Like, I'm not joking. They literally look like this long compared to the one sentence to start the game. And that's like natural progression of power creep. I used to be a big fan of power creep, saying Genshin needs it, but the more I realized with how easy the game is, it's a blessing. It's really good for it. I was completely wrong whenever I said Genshin needs power creep. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Bennett being the strongest character in the game, perfectly fine. Whatever. It's a casual experience. It doesn't matter who's the strongest. It doesn't matter who's the worst. I can beat anything in the overworld. I can beat any of the weekly bosses using Aloy as my primary damage dealer, and not even struggle while doing it because I can have a proper team composition with one shield, one heal, and then 2 damage dealers, one being Aloy, one being somebody to supplement, probably Shinha, and I could just run around with just that. I could even swap Yao Yao out for Chi-Chi and run Chi-Chi as a secondary cryo for cryo resonance, etc. I can do whatever I want, and I can run around with the worst 5-star in the game and just beat everything, 0 issues. It might take me quite a bit longer than it would using an overpowered team, but I'll beat it 0 issues. Will I 36-star Abyss with such a team? Never. Absolutely not. I doubt I'd even clear floor 12. Oh, I guess we're starting a quest. But I doubt I'd even clear floor 12. In the end, it literally just comes down to what you want, and that's what makes Genshin a great experience for a lot of people, is you're not pressured ever to spend. Ever. Anyways, that's basically the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I was going to make a video about something else, and I'm still going to make that video. But I thought about this while I was making that video, and I've thought about how a lot of people have misconceptions about what I've been saying over the past day. So I was like, wait, what I'm saying is actually a positive thing. And then it ended up being this discussion that I think is actually really, really good to have, to kind of open some eyes, because I try to look at a lot of things at face value, because I'm not very good at looking for hidden motives or anything like that. I kind of look at things for exactly what they are. And this ended up being a pretty good discussion, I think, and I'm really happy with it. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.